Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today is the third video in our beginner basics series. Today I'm going to show you how to do the double crochet step by step. This is super easy. It is a foundational stitch for beginners and it's used in so many different ways. So let's go ahead, grab your hook and your yarn, and we'll jump right in. So to begin, we're going to start off by making a slip knot with our acrylic yarn, and I'm using a 5mm hook as well. Again, as in the other videos, you can use any yarn and the appropriate hook you want. This is just what I'm using for this video. So we're going to start by making our slip knot because we want to make a chain. When you're making your foundation chain for double crochet, however many chains long your project needs to be, you'll need to add 3 more chains. For instance, if you want your project to be 20 chains long, then you need to chain 23 in order to get the desired length that you need. You can chain however many you would like for following along with this video. Just pick a number and add 3. Once you're finished, we are going to begin making our first double crochet stitch, and we are going to put it in the 4th chain from the hook. This is the 1st, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So whenever you're ready, we're going to yarn over and place our hook in the 4th chain from our hook. Now that you've got it through that loop, you're going to yarn over again and pull it through the very first loop. Now you should have 3 loops on your hook. Next, we are going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops that are on our crochet hook. Just the first 2. Pull through them at the same time, and then you should have 2 loops left on your hook. Then you're going to yarn over and then pull through both of those loops together. We have now finished our first double crochet stitch. We're going to go right into the very next stitch using everything we just learned. So to begin, you'll yarn over, place your hook in the very next stitch, and you'll have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, pull through that very first loop, and you'll still have 3 loops on your hook. But we want to make sure we pull through just the first 2. So you're going to yarn over, pull that yarn through the first 2 loops that are there. Now you have 2 loops left, and so we want to yarn over one more time and pull through both of those loops together. Now we've made our second double crochet, and as you can see, they're nice tall stitches. Okay, let's do another one together. The important thing to remember before you start a double crochet is to just always make sure you yarn over before you go into the next stitch. Yarn over, pull through that first loop. We have 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through the very first 2, and then you'll yarn over and pull through the last 2 stitches at the same time. This makes our 3rd double crochet. We're going to keep doing this all the way to the end of the row. If you need to rewind it or press pause, feel free to do whatever you need to get the hang of this stitch. Keep going, you're doing great. Yarn over, pull through those 2, yarn over, and pull through the very last 2 loops. I'm going to keep crocheting down to the end of the row, and I will see you there. We have made it to the end of our row, and we're ready to put our last double crochet in the last stitch of the first row. So yarn over, put your hook through that last stitch, yarn over again and pull through the first loop, and now you have 3, yarn over, pull through the very first 2 loops, yarn over and pull through both loops at the same time. And this completes our first row of double crochet. Now we're going to start the second row. And to do that, we need to make a turning chain of 3. So chain 3. This gives us the height we need to start the next row. You're going to turn your work, and we're going to immediately go into the very first stitch. So yarn over, go into the first stitch, yarn over again and pull through the first loop. Now we have 3. Yarn over, pull through the very first 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the last 2. That is our first double crochet of the second row. Let's do it again. Yarn over, place your hook into the very next stitch, yarn over and pull through the first loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over one more time and pull through the last 2. It's the same repeating steps, we're just building our rows. Let's do one more together. Nice and slow, paying attention to our steps, making sure we're yarning over. Pulling through those first 2, yarning over and pulling through the last 2, and we've made our 3rd double crochet of the second row. Let's keep doing this to the end of the round. Once we get to the end of the round, I'll show you where to put the last stitch in because it can be tricky sometimes. Again, feel free to pause, rewind, speed up, whatever you need to do to make this easier for you and help you master this stitch. And I will see you at the end of the row. We made it to the end once again. The stitch is looking beautiful, it's nice and tall. So let's put our last stitch into this right here, it's the top of our starting chain. You want to make sure you're putting your double crochet in the very last stitch, because if you don't, it will make your edges uneven. Now we're going to chain 3 and turn our work and start our third row. It's the same steps. I'm just going to go a little faster here. We're just doing the same thing we did in row 1 and 2 and just speeding it up a little bit. I've worked this third row and we're going to place our last stitch, double crochet in the last stitch of this round, or I'm sorry, this row. And now I'm going to crochet just a few more rows. So I've crocheted a few more rows and this is what it ends up looking like. It's a tall stitch, it can be stretchy, it's really beautiful and elegant looking, and it has a lot of purposes. I hope this video helped. If it did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thank you so much for watching, and leave a comment below if this was helpful or you have any questions, and I'd love to hear from you. Happy crocheting, and I'll see you next time.